This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Let's talk about business before we get to the show. Monday Night Raw would beat Nitro in the ratings for the last time on June 10th, and then that famous, or maybe infamous, 83-week streak of Nitro wins begins. Did you have any idea at the time? Obviously, nobody knew what the NWO was going to become, but did you think, boy, this whole Hall and Nash thing could be the tipping point for them?
Not really. I didn't. I thought it would be good for them. Tipping point, I'm not so sure. I didn't know it would ignite the fire to the level that it did.
Nobody
yeah.
That, yeah.
So with that said, I just thought it was two guys leaving and get a whole lot of money. They're going to work less dates, et cetera, et cetera. They got themselves a good deal. And my concern was more along the lines of they're going to be really, they meaning Scott and Kevin,
right?
They're going to be very active in talking to their buddies, primarily Shawn Michaels, because you had to believe that what a feather in the cap it would be if Hall and Nash were able to convince Shawn when his contract ended to come with them and play and work and all that good stuff. So I thought that would be the bigger issue, is who else it might affect, and not denigrating their work. It's just that they made a bigger impact, and they were booked well. They were made to be special. The deal didn't seem to be rushed. The only time that started, the only time I felt a little relief was when the NWO started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so it's just more watered down, in my opinion. As a fan watching the replays on Monday nights at midnight, which we did a lot, or I did a lot, after Raw, I thought that, they just, that they were booked really well, and they did it so episodically sound that I couldn't wait to see what they're doing next week. Not with everybody on the card. I didn't want to watch the whole show. I just wanted to watch Hall and Nash and see what their shenanigans were going to lead them to. But no, I didn't have the vision to say these guys are saviors, and they were until they got into another watered down act. They had guys in the NWO that didn't need to be there, and so the bigger it got, the more the edge kind of waned and it sunk a little bit to me. But they were big. I don't know if Eric could have had any bigger gets. Maybe you can make the argument, obviously, for Hogan. But when Hogan, Hall, and Nash were the NWO, that was all they needed. They didn't need 6 or 8 other guys.
Right.
They got the 6 or 8 other guys, so those guys could do the jobs.
Well, there you go. I feel strongly that saving money is important. If it's not something we worry about now, boy, we are really going to worry about it later. And I want to help you get out of debt faster and do it with cheaper monthly payments. I'm talking to you if you're in a 30-year loan. Now is the time to take years off of your loan. We're routinely helping our listeners cut 5, 10, even 15 years off their loan. And you can do this without perfect credit, with no money out of pocket. You've just got to start at SaveWithConrad.com. So Mark Miro is going to defeat Owen Hart to move into the semifinals, and Jake Roberts will defeat Bradshaw with the DDT. At the same time, there's rumors of issues with the 1-2-3 kid, Sean Waltman. Obviously you're not a psychiatrist or therapist or whatever. Where do you think Waltman's head was at this time, since he's watching Hunter being punished and Scott and Kevin leaving for WCW?
He's probably a little detached. Sean had, those guys took Sean under their wing and he became one of their guys. So he had a close relationship with Hunter and Sean, all that crew. So I'm sure he was a little verklempt, as they used to say.
I like that.
And sometimes those triggers can then arise as it would relate to increased substance abuse. And when you're in that world anyway, it doesn't, you want to keep a guy straight and clean and healthy.
Sure.
Healthy. Sometimes the triggers can evolve from different places, Conrad. So it wasn't a good scenario for Sean. And I'm still a Sean Waltman supporter. And I know he's got a podcast.
Yes, he does.
And then does good. And I'm happy for him. I love the kid. He's cleaned himself up. He got more than one second chance. So nice. But I'm sure it was a little disconcerting for Sean at that time, because Sean was one of those guys that would have thought that the curtain call probably was the right thing to do. I don't know that, but attitudinally, and the business is changing, we got to change with it type deal. But we don't have to change it so much that we're going to take people into the magician's house and see how he makes a rabbit disappear.
Right.
I didn't think that was quite necessary. So I'm sure it was a point of consternation for Sean, and because he's seen two of his best friends leave. He's got another good friend in Triple H who just got punished by not winning the King of the Ring. So then all of a sudden, winning the King of the Ring was a huge deal.
Yeah,
it was made to be a huge deal. Oh, that shouldn't have happened. He's the only one who got punished. And I didn't see Sean jumping into place to help Hunter. It was all of a sudden the deck of the ship started getting a little more sparse. So anyway, I'm sure it affected Sean because he's a sensitive guy. He's loyal. And like I said, I've always had a lot of time for him. One of my favorite guys.
By the way, if you've got a lot of time for him, check out his new podcast that Jim referenced. It's Pro Wrestling for Life. Sean Waltman and a friend of the show, Nick Houseman, are doing a good job over there. And I even did an appearance. So check that out. It's Pro Wrestling for Life. Let's
cool.
Hey, Big Daddy, you got to get excited about saving people money. Woo! Woo!
SaveWithConrad.com.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.